Hi guys, this is the Java series. In this session we will discuss about the final keyword. What is the role of the final keyword? It is used to restrict the user. Final keyword can be used in many contexts like a variable, method, class, argument in functions. Okay, in this session we will discuss about final variable and final method. Okay, so this is the example program for how the final keyword can be used as variable and what is the role of the final variable. Okay, inside of this bike9 class, I have created the speed limit. This is the name of the variable. Its data type is integer. Here I have written final keyword and I have initialized 90 is the value for speed limit variable. Okay, and inside the bike9 class, I have created the method run. Method name is run. Return type is void. So what is the role of this run method? It is used to print the speed limit value on my console. Okay, but this is what? The final variable. Okay, so what will happen? It holds only the 90. If I try to give some different values to the speed limit means I will get error. So this is the role of the final keyword. If we make any variable as final means we won't change the value of that final variable. Okay, if I try to change the value of the final variable, we will get the error only. And this is the main method. Inside this method, I have created the object for bike9 class. Okay, my file name should be same as this class name because this class only have the main method. In this example, we have a single class only. And new keyword is used to create the memory for this object at runtime. And this is the default constructor. Here I have used this object to call the method run. Okay, so the control jumps from the 13th line to the 9th line. Here we have the speed limit. That value will be printed on our console. That is 90 will be printed on my console. Okay, let me execute this one. So this is my output. Okay, now I uncomment this line. What we'll get? We got the compile time error. What is it? The final field bike9.speed limit cannot be assigned. Why? Because here we have the final keyword. That's why we got this compile time error. Got it? If I want to remove this error means what I will do? I just remove this final keyword. Then the error will be gone. Let me execute again. Here we have 400. Because inside this run method I have initialized. Because the speed limit is now not a final variable. That's why I can reinitialize the variable. Okay, but if I give the final keyword here means I got again the error. So this is our error. Unresolved compilation problem. Okay, the final field cannot be assigned. Okay, so this is like a constant value. Okay, it will be constant only. If I try to reinitialize the final variable, I got this type of compile time error. I hope you all understood about what is the role of the final variable. So now I comment this line. Now I got the output 90. Okay. Now the next one, what is the role of the final method? Here I have created two classes, bike and Honda. Here I have implemented the single inheritance type. Inside this bike I have the method run. Okay, so what is the role of this run method? It is used to print running on my console. Okay, and inside the Honda we have the run method. We already discussed about the runtime polymorphism. That is method overriding. Okay, so the child class method run overrides the parent class method. Okay, this method overrides the parent class method. That is the method overriding concept. Okay, one of the pillars of OOPS concept. Okay, but if I make the method as final means this overriding is not possible. Okay, if you don't like to override your parent class method means you can use this final to your method. Got it? Let me execute this one. Here running safely with 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, so this method only is invoked. That's why we got this output. That means this run overrides the parent class run method. Okay, but if I make the method as final means what will happen? Now I uncomment these lines and I comment this one. Here what is the difference? The previous execution I didn't use the final for this method, but now I have used the final to this run method. Okay, what will happen? Here we got the compile time error, multiple markers at this line. Let me execute. Here linkage error occurred while loading main class Honda java.language incompatible class change error. Class Honda overrides final method. That's why we got this compile time error. Multiple markers at this line because here I have given the final keyword. So if I try to use the same run method inside the child class means I got this type of error. Okay, so if we won't need the overridden concept means we can use the final keyword to that method. Okay, if you provide this keyword means we won't be overridden the parent class method. Okay, so now again I uncomment this line and comment this line. So now the error is gone. So if I make the run method as final means this run method won't be overridden by the child class method. Okay, I hope you all understood about the final variable and the final method. If you make any variable as final means we won't change the value of the variable. If you make any method as final method means we cannot override that method. In this session we will discuss about the final class and final parameter. Let's see this example. Here I have created the class bike class. Inside this class I have created the method. And what is the role of this disp method? It is used to print the display on my console. And I have created one more class Honda 2. Here I have implemented the single inheritance type. Inside the Honda 2 I have the run method. What is the role of this method? It is used to print running safely with 100 km per hour on my console. And inside the Honda 2 we have the main method. We know the main method is the starting point of the execution of the program. And inside the Honda 2 only we have the main method. So my file name should be same as this class name only. Okay, my file name is Honda 2 only. And here I have created the object for Honda 2, that is the child class. And a new keyword is used to create the memory for this object at runtime. And this is the default constructor. Okay, using this object I call the run as well as the disp method. Okay, so here I have implemented the single inheritance type. So with the help of the object of Honda 2, I can access run as well as the disp method. Let me execute this one. This statement is the output for the 17th one, Honda.run. So the control jumps from the 17th line to the 10th line. That is the run method. Okay. So here we got running safely with 100 km per hour. And the control again jumps from the 13th line to the 18th line. Here we have the disp method. Okay, so this method is from the parent class bike class. Okay, so the control jumps from the 18th line to the parent class method display here, and this is printed here. Now, if I use the final keyword with the class, means what will happen? Okay, now if I use final here, means we got the compile time error. The type Honda 2 cannot subclass the final class by class. Okay, if we make any class as final, means we cannot extend that class. Okay, so we got the compile time error. The type Honda 2 cannot subclass the final class by class. Okay, so if we don't want to inherit any class, means we can use this final keyword like this. I hope you are understood about what is the final class. If we make any class as final, we cannot extend it. Okay, and I have one more example. Here test final 1 is my class name, and inside this class I have the speed limit. This is the name of the variable. Its data type is integer, and I have used the final keyword here. We already discussed, if we make any variable as final, means we cannot change the value of the variable, isn't it? But here I didn't give any value to this speed limit. That is, I am not initialized here during the declaration of this statement. So what will happen if I try to give the value to this speed limit? Means I will get error only. Then what is the solution? Inside the constructor only I can initialize the final variable. Okay, so this statement is called the blank final variable. That is, if we didn't initialize the value of the final variable, means that is called the blank final variable. It is also known as uninitialized variables. Okay, so this type of uninitialized variable can be initialized inside the constructor only. If we try to initialize this type of final variable outside of the constructor, means we will get error only. Okay, so if we want to initialize the speed limit during the creation of the variable, means I can. If I try to give the values after the declaration of the statement, means I get the error. So in those situations, we need a constructor to initialize that type of final variable. Got it? So here this is called the default constructor. The name of the constructor should be same as the name of the class. Okay, and here there is no parameters. That's why we can call it as the default constructor. Inside this default constructor only I can initialize this final variable. Okay, so here I have initialized the speed limit. The value is 70. And I print the value on my console with the help of the println method. And main method, execution starts only from this main method. We already discussed. And here I have created the object for the test final 1. That is the name of the class. And T1 is the name of the object. New keyword is used to create the memory for this object during the execution of the program, and this is the default constructor. Okay, this default constructor will be invoked during the creation of the object. We know already. Okay, let me execute this one. I got value is 70. So this uninitialized or blank final variable can be initialized inside the constructor only. Got it? And then final parameter. So this is my class name testFinal2. Inside this testFinal2, I have the method cube. Inside this function definition part, I have the argument or parameter. N is the name of the variable. Its data type is integer, and I have written the final keyword here. So this is the final parameter. If I make any parameter as final, means we cannot change the value of this final parameter. Okay, here I have created the m variable and n plus 2. So the value of n and 2 will be added and the added value will be stored inside the m variable. That value will be printed on our console. Okay, inside this test final 2 I have the main method. So my file name must be same as this class name only, and execution starts only from the main method. I have created the object for this class and this is the default constructor, and using this object I call the cube method. Okay, and this is my parameter value. So the control carries this 5 and jumps from the 12th line to the 3rd line, and the 5 will be stored inside the n variable. So let me execute this one. Here 5 plus 2 7. I got the result. Okay, if I try to change the value of this final parameter, is it possible? No. If I try to change the final variable value means we will get error only. I comment this line and I uncomment this one, and here instead of m I write n. Okay, here I try to change the final parameter n value. Okay, so I got the compare me error. What error is this? The final local variable n cannot be assigned. It must be blank or not using a compound assignment. Okay, so if we make any parameter as final means we cannot change the value of the final variable. And again I comment this line and uncomment this one. I write m instead of n. Now the result is 7. 5 plus 2 7. Okay, so we have completed the final class and what is blank or uninitialized final variable and what is the final parameter. We have completed this session. If you have any doubts, drop the message on the comment section. If this video is useful to you, like and share. For more videos, subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon, then only you will get the notification for my new updates. Have a nice day. Thank you.